Don in London, hello. It's February the 28th, 2010. Later in the evening, and normally at this time of the evening on a Sunday, I'd be at a fellowship meeting of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, 7:45, lest we forget. But unfortunately, I've injured my foot. I just fell over. And what do we do when we don't want something to be the way it is? We deny it. And I fell over and I jumped up as if nothing had happened. And of course something had happened. So I have a sprained ankle, or worse. Anyway, the upshot of that is that I will have to go to A&E, Accident and Emergency, tomorrow morning for a checkup, just to make sure that I haven't broken a bone. So, not quite the evening I planned. And it really is irksome, but it reminds me of the old behaviour in my drinking days. So what are my videos all about? My videos are all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. So my old addictive substance, alcohol, my old addictive behaviour, workaholic, relationships, materialism, putting on a brave face, letting the ego run wild, or rather my ego covered up the fear inside me of not being good enough. And I suppose in that moment of madness, or whatever happened, where I jumped up to pretend that I was okay because I just didn't want to be in that situation, denial creeps in. So it's a warning sign for me that whether it's emotional, physical or spiritual sobriety I'm looking for, I can slip back into old ways at the drop of a hat, or in this case the drop of my body onto the pavement or sidewalk. So the gift for me today is to actually recognise that old behaviour in me can come back at any time. And why do I need a fellowship to keep me on track? Because if old behaviour around looking less than or covering up some sort of, I suppose, disability, then life gets difficult, and I'm not being truthful to myself or people around me, because people around me can't help me. So I've had lots of advice and support to go to get my foot checked out, which I will do. Even I didn't want to go over the weekend because it's full of drunks who have had accidents, and I didn't really want to be a person in recovery amongst a group of people who were self-harming. I don't know. Funny old world, isn't it? We are full of defects of character, as they say. Anyway, fellowship. These are what the videos are all about, and also my story as I progress in recovery, and it's one day at a time. So a return to old behaviour there, and I'm smiling at myself more than anything, and also know that a slip like that on a physical level is as dangerous as a slip in any other aspect of my life, to do with my feelings, emotions or my spiritual well-being. So it's a timely reminder that fellowship keeps me sober, and to miss a meeting is probably the worst thing in my life, simply because it's one day long, and I love meetings and seeing people who are sober so that the rest of my life can work as well. So what is AA and why does it work for me? Well, I'll share the AA preamble or statement of intent and some readings from AA literature about what it's like to be in recovery, and what are these 12 steps of action that we take on a daily basis to help us make life work, or rather live life as it is. So the AA preamble goes like this. Fortunately my foot is not affecting my ability to do the video. AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And the key words in there for me are: only requirement for membership a desire to stop drinking, so we can make the best of what is, rather than wish it away or find oblivion because we just don't like what we're a part of. And our primary purpose is to stay sober. and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So I feel that it was a timely reminder that I fell over. My foot gave way. I think it's a weakness caused by another condition, type 1 diabetes and nerve damage, which I got in recovery, so blameless in that respect. But I know that behaviour of standing up quickly and wanting to be okay and not show weakness is something that I still need to work on. And during my working career, I never showed weakness, or tried not to, trying to be perfect. Never took a day off, never wanted, well, I did actually, I had to. I used to break things like bones through physical labour, or you name it. Sometimes I just had to stop. And then I had a nervous breakdown because I suffered from a nervous exhaustion, and I burned out. And having gone through those experiences, you would think that the silly fool would have actually, I used different words in the meeting last night, a bit more colourful, but the silly fool would have actually done something about it by now. But there you go, learning. I'm human. Daily Reflections, this book. It covers the 12 steps of action and the action program of AA for individuals, changing our attitude and behaviour on a daily basis, and also giving us timely reminders as reality hits us, as did the pavement. So for February the 28th, I nearly stepped over one too many there. Yeah, what no president, it says. No leaders in AA. Well, sort of there are. We're all leaders. When told that our society has no president having authority to govern it, no treasurer who can compel the payment of any dues, our friends gasp and exclaim, "This simply can't be." When I finally made my way to AA, I could not believe that there was no treasurer to compel the payment of dues. I could not imagine an organisation that didn't require monetary contributions in return for a service. It was my first and thus far only experience with getting something for nothing, because I did not feel used or conned by those in AA. I was able to approach the programme free from bias and with an open mind. They wanted nothing from me. What could I lose? I thank God for the wisdom of the early founders who knew so well that alcoholics disdain for being manipulated. And I was looking at some quotes this morning. I've had a good day actually. I went and helped my mum. She's 78 and has a computer for the first time, and she sent me an email tonight, so I'll tell her that I'm okay, but I am going to A&E. But some of the quotes around leadership, and I wrap around something to do with the fellowship, and then the quote from whoever it was about the subject of the day. What no president? Old timers support newcomers. Newcomers support old timers. Jim Rohn said, "A good objective of leadership is to help those who are doing poorly to do well, and to help those who are doing well to do even better." And I polish it off with same-size humans, veterans and greenhorns, making progress on one day at a time. So whether we're new to the fellowship or been around a while, we all help each other as best we can. And it works that way, because we take a lead when we need to support. And it can be the oldest old-timer in the room who needs a bit of support, or the person who's only had a few hours sober who needs support. We're all in the same boat, taking a lead for sobriety. And one other one. We, unique and authentic, not special and different. Peter Drucker, the management specialist, said, "No institution can possibly survive if it needs geniuses to lead it. It must be organised in such a way as to be able to get along under a leadership of average human beings. Real people living and making spiritual and emotional progress are in fellowship." And that last bit was me. So we are unique and authentic, but we're not special and different, and we're probably average to okay on any given day. So the gift is that we can rub along together, and nobody needs to be special to be leader, because there aren't any. Not in the old sense of the words. Anyway, I've run out of time, and as I say at the end of these videos, to acceptance of the now. The Serenity prayer helps me when I don't know what's right for me. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is for me always just for today.